Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another wild orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. Okay, so in today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to be sharing some very critical and very important tips with you all about how to grow your orchids in the most healthiest way possible. And again, many tips just for you today. Okay folks, and a very important tip to growing your orchids very healthy is of course making sure that your orchids are receiving just the right amount of watering. Making sure that you're not watering them too much, and of course making sure that they are getting enough water. Now, of course, what is also beneficial to your orchids is good air circulation. Because, of course, your orchids don't want to stay in standstill water, and to do so could cause possible rotting to the plant. Another critical condition that growers face, of course, is combating all of the pesky critters that long to attack your orchids. So we are talking about insects and slugs and snails, mealybugs, you name it, they want to claim it. And also we are talking about fungus and mildew and all sorts of things that can invade your orchids. And as you guys know, folks, I grow my orchids outdoors, so indeed this poses such a great dilemma for me. So I wanted to share with you exactly what I've done to help and assist in trying to combat our daily issues. Okay folks, because I grow my orchids outdoors, I cannot control the weather conditions. Trust me, I've tried and I can't, okay? So what I have left to do is find a way to put my orchids in a better condition where they can have better air circulation and also a better chance of drying out when they do become drenched. And I'm going to give you a prime example of what happens when your orchid becomes overly drenched. This is my beautiful, or once beautiful, Paphiopedilum. And if we take a closer look, you will begin to see where some rotting has occurred. And if we take a closer look, there it is, folks, right there. You're seeing that fungus growing, and in there you're beginning to see the rotting taking place. So all I can basically do for this little guy right now is to clean him off and of course put some peroxide and some cinnamon and hope that'll do the trick in trying to dry this out. I will also try to repot this in a more well-ventilated pot and see how that goes. And because folks, many of my orchids are in pots that don't have any slits or holes in them, a lot of them do not have good circulation. So that's definitely another thing that we have to do, is ensure that we have pots that are made just for orchids and that'll be perfect just for their growing habit. Now, as you guys know, perfect orchid pots can be very difficult to find. I have not been able to find them other than online, where you have to order them and of course wait for them to come, and sometimes that's just not feasible. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own containers for your orchids that are just going to be perfect just for them. Okay, so you guys want to know what makes a perfect pot for orchids. Well, number one, we want to make sure that there are holes in the pot or slits to ensure good air circulation, that the medium can dry out or stay moist but not stay overly drenched. And also we want to make sure that the pot is see-through so that we can also be better capable of seeing anything that's going on underneath the surface, such as fungus or mildew or insect infestation. So I'm going to show you what's wrong with all three of these pots right here. Okay, so this pot right here, and excuse the dirt, of course this is outdoors, so I get that a lot. But anyways, as you guys can see, there are slits here. So yeah, that could prove to be pretty good air circulation for this pot. But as you can see, this is not see-through, so you definitely would not know what is going on underneath. So yeah, this is okay, but this isn't perfect for the orchid. Okay, now this one right here, you can kind of see what's going on through the holes. And again, there are holes, so good air circulation. But problem with this pot right here is the fact that this is made of some sort of material that of course is coated with paint and a glaze. And a lot of times you have to be careful because these containers, although they look like they were made specifically for orchids, some of the paints and glazes can be harmful to the orchid. So I would not consider this a perfect pot either. Now how about this pot? Because it is see-through, right? You can see what's going on underneath, but the air holes or the slits are missing in here. So definitely this isn't perfect. Okay folks, so now we are going to show you how to get and also make very inexpensive, perfect pots for orchids. Okay, and here we are folks, your common everyday items that can be used to make these perfect containers for your pots. Now as you can see, I'm using juice bottles and energy drink bottles, also water bottles and soda bottles and Tupperware, and look there folks, that is just a regular cup that you would receive out of a fast food restaurant, so you can also use that as well folks. And I'm telling you, these containers right here are so inexpensive because they are absolutely free, well, majority of them except the Tupperware, but you can get that fairly inexpensive as well. And all you're doing folks is you are going to actually take these containers and use your handy dandy soldering tool, which this is used to actually melt and fuse together wires and metals, and this can be actually purchased very inexpensively at your local hardware store, and you can find this almost anywhere folks. So again, very inexpensive and really just does the tricks with making holes in these containers. And again, that's all I did here folks. If you take a look, I just simply poked holes with the soldering tool on these containers. After you have poked your holes throughout the whole container, also ensuring that you have holes at the bottom for good drainage and air circulation there as well, I would simply just cut the top portion and voila, you have your perfect orchid pot container. How wonderful is that? And also folks, here's one using the soda bottle, and of course those Tupperwares in the back. And if we take a look here for your seedlings, this is actually shot cups, and I've also poked the holes with my soldering tool and underneath as well, and there you have a perfect little pot for seedlings. So now I'm going to go ahead and pot some of my orchids up using these containers. Also I have peroxide right here, and Listerine is what I also use to go ahead and use as an insecticide, bug repellent, and also to fight off any mildew or fungus. So definitely that's what we're going to do, and then I'm going to show you guys another extra tip. Okay folks, and here we are. As you can see, I have repotted a lot of my orchids in these clear containers that we just created for you guys today. And now I'm going to go ahead and take it a step further in putting them in a lot better, healthier condition. Okay folks, so I wanted to show you this garden trellis that I've actually put into my garden. But of course you guys can use this indoors as well. And what I intend on using this for, as you can already see, I've already started. Once I've repotted and put my orchids in these perfect containers for orchids, I will hang them all on this trellis. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent it from being at ground level, where slugs and insects and all sorts of little critters can crawl right into the container. So of course it's just going to make it a little bit more difficult for insects to get into. And also what this is going to do, being that it is in the air, and now underneath all of these holes and also to the side can get better air circulation, it's going to dry out just that much more. And also, folks, as you can see, being that this is going to be layered one on top of the other, this is going to also conserve some space. So especially for those that have just such a small space for growing, this is absolutely terrific indoors or outdoors. If you guys run out of room on your windowsill, definitely put this in a corner or somewhere where it's getting good light, and you can have it right there as a part of your grow space. Also here, folks, I've done the same thing here with this actual plant stand, and this plant stand actually has layers as well. And why I selected this plant stand is because here you see this rim where you can also hang other plants all to the side, and also right here you can hang plants as well. So this is really a good space saver as well, this plant stand, and also this trellis. So folks, it's all about being creative and trying to grow your orchids in a better way, and of course more convenient for you and safer for the orchids. Okay, folks, and I'm going to show you exactly how I hung these pots right here. As you know, there's holes all the way around, so pick a hole and then actually just stick some sort of hanger. This is actually a curtain rod hanger, and it worked for this project. But also you can get wire gauge that you can actually make into an S-hook, and that'll also work as well. And here I am, folks, with my S-hook, and I'm just going to go ahead and insert it through the hole. And there you have it, folks. And it is ready to be hung, so let's take it over here. And it's almost like hanging a Christmas ornament, folks. That easy. Voila! Okay, folks, and here we are now. We did have to take a little break because it started pouring down like a monsoon here in Florida. So definitely it just reiterated the importance of this project that we have today. And folks, I really have to say, this is just so wonderful for me and very, very convenient, because as you guys know, what I was doing before is literally coming down here, practically getting on my knees and having to go through here to view my orchids because they were at ground level. And so now with this display right here, everything is so very out in the open. There's no longer any need for me to kneel all the way down just to check on orchids. And definitely watering wise, it's going to be so much easier for me to just spray these down with the hose. So definitely just very functional, very feasible, just very convenient, and definitely just adds another element of display to my orchids. So I am a happy, happy camper today. And another thing that we did today, folks, is we took containers and we made perfect little pots for each and every one of these orchids. Of course, taking your containers such as your Tupperwares, your soda bottles, your sports drinks, your water bottles, I mean anything that you could think of that can probably be used as a pot, we did. And we created it to where they would now be very well air ventilated, good air circulation, and of course you're capable of seeing into the pot and into the medium, of course just giving us a better chance to grow these orchids very, very healthily. And of course, let's take a closer look here. This is the plant stand that we have, and the great thing about this, again, we have many layers in which we can display our orchids, but also these have outer rims and little areas where you can hang a lot of orchids on the outside of the container or the plant stand as well. So definitely this is a great way to display a lot of your orchids, get them off the ground, and of course good air circulation for your orchids as well here. So definitely these are just some ideas that I came up with, guys, and I hope this really helps you, because of course we want to learn and grow together, folks, and that is indeed my purpose, to share with you any ideas that I may have that would alleviate some stress and allow you guys to grow your orchids better, safer,
and a lot more easier.
And I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Wild Orchid Adventures with me, Maria Young. And of course, I want you guys to know that I am also on Facebook, so definitely contact me there. I am sharing a whole bunch of information and also some beautiful, beautiful pictures of many different orchids and sharing some good, potent tips with you as well. So definitely connect with me on Facebook at My Orchid Adventures. Also, I want to let you guys know that I can be contacted through mail. If you guys want to do that, definitely love to hear from you guys in any kind of way possible. So if you guys want to write me or send me a card or send me whatever you guys want to send me, please be sure to do that. And you can do that with my P.O. Box address, which should be somewhere. Okay, I don't know where it should be, but you guys should be seeing it right now. If you like this video, please be sure to give it 2 green thumbs up. Okay, well maybe you can only give 1 thumbs up, but please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, please be sure to share with all of your friends and families and fellow orchid lovers as well, as this could also be beneficial for them. Again, I thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for more. And I am wishing you all a happy orchid day. Happy growing, everyone! Take care.